road trip, 10-day road trip, whatever. Come off a back-to-back, getting in late last night. You do whatever you need to do to take it down to win the game. So, I mean, it took all 48 minutes, and it's a good trip for us. Hell of a trip for us.
A minor thing here, but you guys having to go back in, the young guys kind of squandering things late. Do you use that as a teaching moment as a leader?
Absolutely. It's just that's how you learn. Best teacher in life is is experience, and I guarantee they'd be better next time if they put in that situation.
So 5-1 in this trip, 9-10 overall. You guys have at least put yourself in position to move up. If a couple other teams start losing a game or two, where do you kind of focus as you get home, get some rest for 5 more games?
Our focus is on our next opponent and not what's going on in the rankings. Those will decide at the end of the season where everybody will be at. So our next opponent is Cleveland, but I'm obviously, we're excited to kind of get a day off and just kind of, get away from the game. I know I am. Tomorrow will be a great time to get away from the game, and it'd be great for us to have these 2 days in between games so we can kind of get our body back, acclimated to the West Coast after being on the East Coast for, this time up here. So it's good. It's been good.
What do you like most about where this team's been at over the last 10 games or so?
I think offensively we've been very consistent with our ball movement, sharing the ball. We still got to crack down on some of the unforced turnovers, but we've been all in a good rhythm, playing off one another. I think defensively we've been, good at times. We could be a lot better at times, but when we need to get our stops, we've got them. We got it done throughout this whole trip.
The season is so long, you can go through so many different iterations. Do you feel like the twists and turns you guys have been through have made this group in particular stronger than before?
I think health has helped a lot too. We've started to get healthier. I told you guys early on when we were struggling, it's hard to have any chemistry, any camaraderie, or that type of on the floor when you're changing lineups and guys are in and out of lineups, guys are hurt, guys are in, different starting lineup, different rotations. The best thing that's lately is that we've had pretty much the same starting lineup. Unless I've been out of game or whatever. AD took out the Memphis game, but for the most part, it's been D'Lo, AR, myself, Rui, AD. We had that group, and then we know when guys are coming in. We know when Spencer's coming in. He's usually grabbing D'Lo at one certain point, or AR. We know Jackson's coming in at the start of the second to get AD. TP or Max come get me at a certain point. That helps because you get a good rhythm, you get a good chemistry with groups that you're going to be playing with, so you know what you want to get into and run into offensively and defensively. So I think that has a lot to do about our success.
Lebron, whether it's the play-in or the first round, you guys are going to have to win some games on the road at some point.
I'm the last guy you should ask about winning a game on the road.
Well, no, I know, but like for the group as a unit, like what can this trip do in terms of just confidence? Because you guys hadn't been on the road.
Nothing. I mean, this trip, what it does for us right now, we want to continue to build chemistry. We want to continue to play good basketball. But the postseason is still kind of ways away. Even, I know we only got, 6 games, or what is it, 6 games left? 5 games left. Postseason prep, all that other stuff is totally different from the regular season. So wherever we fall is where we fall, and wherever we got to go, if we have to go on the road, that's fine. That's fine. That's what it came down to, and then we'll take that approach when we get there.
LeBron, when you watch the women's college game these days, what stands out to you about the way they play, aside from maybe some of the star power we're seeing?
What stands out about the way they play? They play the right way. But the men do too. I don't think there's, much difference between the men and women game when it comes to college basketball. I think the popularity comes in is the icons that they have in the women's game. You look at, Angel Reese, you look at, Juju, you look at Caitlin Clark, you look at Paige, you look at the young girl that's in Iowa State, the freshman there. You look at Brink, I believe her last name is, at Stanford. And that's just to name a few. The freshman that's at Notre Dame, because they are not allowed to go to the NBA, I think they have to stay all 4 years, correct? 3 years? Okay. Oh, you have to be 21. Okay, so Aaliyah Boston wasn't 21 when she wanted to come out after her junior year, right? But anyways, you were able to build, like a real, iconic legacy out of program, and that's what we all love about it. That's what we all love, and we love the girls' game because of that moment. You actually get to see those girls. That's what make the Final Four and the Elite Eight so great. Iowa was a great team. but Caitlin Clark is the reason we tuned in. You know, you're going to watch Purdue because of Zach Edey, because he's a great player. We watched that Purdue-Tennessee game because of Zach Edey and Connect. Players, depending on who they are, will drive the attention, you know, when it comes to viewership. But the girls, they always play the game the right way, passing and cutting, sharing the ball. They definitely don't get on the floor for loose balls and things of that nature. But, you know, there's men's teams that's doing that as well, too, you know, at the end of the day. But the star power, you know, that we have in the women's game outweighs some of the men, too. Because of the men, too, also, it's hard to keep up with a lot of guys, too, because it's this transfer portal. Guys are moving different, it's hard to keep up with a certain individual. You know, it's not the J.J. Reddick's where he was there at Duke 4 years, or Shane Battier who came back for 4 years, or, you know, the Miles Simons and Mike Bibby's in the late 90s when they was playing. So, you know, it's just a different time between the men and the women, and men can come out right after their freshman year. If I have a big-ass season my freshman year of college basketball, I'm going to the league. If a girl has a great season, if Juju, like Juju, she can't come out. If she could, you think she might? Maybe. But that's the difference.
Last two.
You've been shooting the lights out from downtown like a couple nights ago, 9 out of 10, and you said how much it's important for teams to respect you. This breakout kind of season in terms of shooting, what do you attribute it to mentally or technology or shooting coach?
No, I've been able to get a lot more work on the floor this season because my foot has been a lot better than last year. I really couldn't, on off days or in between games or whatever, get much work done because I had to stay off my foot because of the injury last year that took me all the way through the postseason. So, relative to last year, I'm still dealing with it a little bit, but it's been a lot better than last year. So I've been able to been a lot more consistent on putting the work in on my shooting.
Last question.
The Masters next week. I know that it doesn't really matter who you play first round, but just strategically, does it 7 or 8 make it a slightly easier path than 9 or 10 would be?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I haven't really started to look at it in that sense of like, okay, well, if we're 7 and 8 and we win that first game, then both we stay at 7. Who's the matchup? Or if we're in 8, we become the 8th seed. Who we played. So I haven't really started diving in on that. Been more focused on like how well we can continue just to play and play and play, which we've been very consistent over the last few weeks, and that's why I want to continue to stay on there. I don't want to look too far ahead, knowing the situation that we're in. So I've been just taking it day by day, and like I said, when that moment comes, I think we've got 5 games left, about 2 weeks left in the season, pretty much, and then that following week it's time to go. So whoever we have to play